So here we are, settling into the new shop in Tassie. Pretty much chaos at the moment. A couple of ongoing projects in the background, and not really unpacked yet. But the new project is sitting in the corner. Recently purchased from an online auction a little European pine set of chest of drawers. Wasn't going to film this one, so I've already started. That's involved basically just clamping the top together, gluing up a crack, and now we're going to get into the meat of it with the carcass. Now the issue we have here is the very large crack in the side panel. You can see the light coming through that one. The previous repair didn't take into account the crack when they put in new drawer runners, so we're going to have to pull all the drawer runners out and attempt to pull this crack back together. Using a couple of clamps to pull the crack back together, it becomes obvious that the drawer runner no longer fits in there, so I'm going to pull all of the drawer runners out, then glue up the crack, then refit the drawer runners at a smaller size. Now that I've got the 5 drawer runners off, and I've taken the edge skirting off the outside as well, and not sure how well it's going to show up, but each of the drawer runners I've put a mark on, a number, a up arrow, and an arrow towards the front. This is so when I get to put it back together, I won't forget which way they all went, and hopefully all the screw holes will line up. One of the cracks will come back together quite nicely with a few clamps. This one's going to be a bit more of a challenge because it closes up at the very bottom. I'm going to cut a little relief cut in there just to help it come back together a bit better. So I've had a quick dry run. Everything looks okay to go, and as anyone knows, no plan survives first contact. In woodworking, as soon as you open the glue bottle, your clamp up turns to dust. Let's see how we go. So, not too hectic, everything seemed to work okay, and nice bead of glue hanging out of the underside, so hopefully there's enough in there to hold it all together. When the drawer runners go back in, that'll further solidify the whole carcass. So while the carcass dries overnight, we're going to have a crack at the top. Fairly badly pitted in a few places. There are some knot holes, protruding knots, a little repaired worm damage. It's fairly thin, so I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot with it. I'm going to start off with 100 grit in the orbital and see how it goes from there. Might go up a grit, might go down a grit, see what happens. So now we've got the top sanded and filled and resanded. That's going to go aside for a while. Colour to be decided on, probably a sort of honey oak type stain, and then a shellac finish. So now we'll start on the drawers and see what they come up like. As you start sanding, you'll see where this one's received a bit of a hot supper. This is the bottom drawer, so I'm guessing it's been kicked shut a few times. Hopefully there's enough meat on the side there that we can get back to a reasonably flat surface without digging too much of it out. Keep going. Belt sander first, orbital sander second, hand sand for the finish. Now, I didn't want to bore anybody with finishing processes. Just about everyone in the entire world is better at putting shellac on than I am. The colour is Old Baltic, and she's now in her new location in our bedroom. This one was going to be a flip, but we decided that it came up well enough that it would become part of our furniture. Now, the handles that are different on it, that's how it came to me, and that's how it'll get passed on. Another little job done.